This is the Uptick Network Stock Day podcast, sponsored by InvestorsHangout.com. Penny stock news and interviews from the microcap world. Public information on OTC, pink sheets, and microcap stocks from around the world. With your host, Jasyn Blair.
Today on Stock Day, we have a very special guest. He is a returning guest. He is the chairman of the board, Angelo DeRosa. He is with Sterling Consolidated Corporation. Angelo, welcome back to the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Sterling Consolidated Corporation, through its wholly owned subsidiary, Sterling Seal and Supply, has been a leading supplier of hydraulic and pneumatic seals to the automotive industrial marketplace for more than 40 years. Angelo, going right into it, let's talk a little bit about yourself and your amazing story and your amazing company.
Well, I started the company officially on January 20th, 1970. We incorporated with a partner. And in 1974, I bought his half of the business out and moved to South Amboy in '77. And then we just, from growing, our first employee was in 1971. And we had 5 employees in the early 70s. And we were a small company. And we concentrated on the original equipment manufacturers, like specifically your valve manufacturers and your automotive manufacturers. And we went out after those original equipment manufacturers, and a lot of them were in New Jersey at the time. But as the 80s came around and 90s came around, most of the companies that we did business with moved out of New Jersey into other areas of the country. But they stayed with us, and to this day, we still have our original account that we started with, Emco Wheaton, which is a division of Gardner Denver, and they still buy from us over 50 years, almost 50 solid years now.
That's amazing.
And, the OEMs that we had back in the early 70s, some of them are still with us. One's a major pump manufacturer in Ohio. I've had them since 1974. So my philosophy has always been have a lot of companies buying. $10,000 has always been a big account for us. So we can get a lot of $10,000 accounts. That was my original thinking. Go after the $10,000 account. Don't go after the Sikorsky's and the Pratt & Whitney's and get $1 million orders, because you lose one of them, your business is gone.
Right.
So we went after all these small accounts. We went after all the small accounts in New Jersey and Connecticut, North New York State, and that kind of stuff, New England, and that's where we branched out from there. And we became then we went international with the product that I developed with a chemist. And we took that internationally, and then we became an international corporation. And that's where we stand today. And we just keep growing. We're growing. We now have over 3,800 accounts, of which about 600 are actively buying from us. And we expand on that every week. We average about 2 to 5 new businesses a week call us up. Nothing $1 million or anything like that, but a lot of small companies just keep buying from us. And that's the way we like to keep the company growing.
Right. A lot of grit and grind over the last 47 years you guys have been in business, and you guys can definitely attribute that to your success story.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So Sterling Consolidated rolled out a new product. Can you explain what this is going to do to help out the cork shortage in the world? Yeah,
well, what happened was I've been reading up on this, that there's been some cork, natural cork, which is a big product of Italy. When I was in Italy in May, we went to a winery and we were just talking. The guy said, we got a shortage of corks. And so it stuck in my head. And an engineer came in to visit us, who was a customer, and he said, I've developed this new product, and it's an FDA, Food and Drug Administration, medical grade silicone. And we make bungs out of them. And I looked at it and I said, bungs? I said, that's used in wineries. And, my brain went to work on it. I said, we're gonna sell it. We'll distribute the product for you. And he said, great. And I got a couple of samples. I got 25 samples in. I gave them to my sales manager, and we were on the market about 3 weeks, maybe a month, and we hit on a manufacturer of barrels, wine barrels.
Oh wow!
And the guy bought a trial order of 1,000 of them. And we're shipping them. I think by the end of this month, we'll be shipping them 1,000 pieces. And he bought them, instead of buying them in the natural color, which is like an opaque white. He bought them in lime green. He can distinguish his from other manufacturers that will be buying the natural color. Let's put it that way. So he'll have a lime green with his insignia right on molded right into the top of the bung. So it's going to be pretty cool. And we're just starting to market it now. We're going to do some advertising and that kind of stuff and see where we go. But the important thing is, and you mentioned it, there is a shortage of natural cork in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And this could be the answer.
Absolutely.
This could be the answer to it. And I'm waiting for some samples to come in on cork for wine bottles. And we're going to test that. I have a local winery that I'm going to go with. Once I get the samples, I'm going to go to him and see if he'll test them for us and let me know how they work out. And we'll go from there. So I'm excited about that. That's fun.
Excellent. How do you feel like this product will do in 2017?
I think once I get these preliminaries going, I think it's going to I think it's just going to take off. Because there's a wine show. My sales manager mentioned there's a wine show in, I think, February in New York,
Mm-hmm.
where all these wineries come in and they, it's a huge show at the Javits Center. If you know anything about the Jacob Javits Center, it's a big place. And they're gonna have, and we're gonna display our products. We're gonna go over there and have a booth and do the whole 9 yards. He's working on that now, so we're gonna go from there.
Excellent. My guest again today is Angelo DeRosa. He is the chairman of the board for Sterling Consolidated Corporation. They're trading on the OTC under the ticker symbol STCC. Now, last quarter, you guys had a really strong quarter. Can you go over that a little bit with us and what you guys are projecting?
Yeah, we had a very first unusual. It was an unusual. So far, it's been an unusual year. We've had good months, and then the month of June was like very stagnant.
Mm-hmm.
It was nothing new came in. Then all of a sudden, July picked up and August picked up. So it carried over into the third quarter, and we had a profitable first quarter and a profitable second quarter too. In fact, as I told you before, the accountants are here now finishing up on the third quarter. And we're going to have 3 quarters of profitability, which we haven't shown in the last 4 years. And it's probably because we had a downturn in business. But I think we're going to see a big uptick in business next year. And right now, a lot of people are holding back buying because of the election. And that's over tomorrow. I foresee after tomorrow things coming back either to normal or even better, depending on who gets elected, and I'm not going to go there.
No,
I'm staying out of that.
We're in the financial news here, not
that's
the
correct.
political.
Let's stay financially on that. So once that's out of the way, I foresee we're going to get back to our normal business cycle where we do some very profitable business.
Exceptional.
And we're hoping. Yeah, we need. Yeah, I'm tired of looking at negative numbers. So hopefully it's going to get off the ground. But we're like I said, we're profitable the last 3 quarters.
Yeah, that's incredible, and there's no reason to think that your new product wouldn't make it 4 quarters in a row that you guys have been profitable, and swing that and going forward into 2017 and turning that into a profitable year as well.
Well, we're profitable, but we also, I didn't even mention we have a trial order going on O-rings to a customer. It's 1 million pieces. If that goes, that should increase our business next year considerably. It's a fairly large. We're only going to get one side out of 12, but it's 100 million pieces a year, and we go on test in December. So,
wow, that's.
I'm not going to. I'm just holding my breath on that one.
Well, that's great news if that definitely pans out for everybody involved here. So, I also hear that you guys have been making some new developments on your website. The website, for those of you that do not know, it's sterlingconsolidated.com. Anything you want to update us on the website, and any new social media platforms that our audience should be following?
Yeah, we've gone to LinkedIn, and we're on Facebook now. We're doing some work on our website. We introduced the bungs on the website, so that's all been done in the last month. But I noticed I have a friend of mine doing the set us up with LinkedIn, and announced we are 49 years or 48 years in business, because this is our 48th year that we're actively in business in 2017. 16, 17 will be our 48th year, and he announced it in LinkedIn, and I got a lot of comebacks to me on my link site. Congratulations on 48 years in being in business, blah blah blah. And most of them are friends, but I noticed a few like people that I don't know from throughout the country, which is unusual for me, because usually it's mostly friends coming back. But I got a couple of those, so it's really getting out there. Our name's getting out there more and more, which I'm very pleased about. You guys have been a big help on it too. So.
Well, we're
Just
definitely
you know.
happy to help here at Uptick, I'll tell you that. My guest again today is Angelo DeRosa. He is the chairman of the board for Sterling Consolidated Corporation. They're trading on the OTC Pink Sheets under the ticker symbol STCC. Now, Angelo, usually we leave the last part of our segment here for you to be able to go over anything we didn't touch upon before we wrap up today. Please enlighten us on any new developments going on with your company.
Well, the enlightenment is that we've got a couple of new products like the bungs and the wine bottles and that kind of stuff. That's a new product for us, and we're really putting an extended effort out to our existing accounts, see if we can get them going. And like I said, they also seem to be sitting back waiting, which seems to be the consensus of everybody I've talked to over the last few months. And I personally feel that once this election is over, whatever way it goes, is that the economy is going to start turning around, because you can't sit on the sidelines in our industry for a long time and say we're not going to buy. Then all of a sudden they come up short, and now they got to scramble for parts to keep their production going. So I foresee an uptick right after the first of the year.
Excellent.
On everybody. I'm not talking about just our industry. I just see, generally speaking, an upturn in the whole economy, because it's got to, and it'll take off. Not take off, but it'll start growing again. That's my personal opinion. Because we've been stagnant, and I'm usually the first to go into a recession and the first to come out of a recession. We've been stagnant too long, and we haven't seen that spurt, which I normally see coming out of a recession. I haven't seen it yet, and I'm just waiting for it. I'm hoping it comes out in December and January. So that's what I foresee happening. But we're geared. We've streamlined our company. We've streamlined it up so we're showing profitability. Now it's just a matter of go out and getting some more sales. So I'll be getting my butt out. I'll get out there and start selling. Yeah. Well, I like doing it. I like getting out in front and getting into the engineering aspect of it, and sticking my nose into products and see if we can get the parts to work and that kind of stuff. So.
Right. You're a grinder. You like to take things and see it through and make sure that your hands are all over it.
Exactly right. Exactly right. I love doing that. I absolutely love doing it. I love going into factories and going into pump manufacturers and valve manufacturers and seeing them actually putting the thing together and seeing the seals in there and figuring out what the sizes and the part numbers are and that kind of stuff. Just like doing it. I've always liked doing that. I'm always curious. I'm like a curious George. It's amazing what this country can. But yeah, not for nothing. This country still makes my amazing amount of good product.
Awesome. My guest again today has been Angelo DeRosa. He is the chairman of the board for Sterling Consolidated Corporation. They're trading on the OTC Pink Sheets under the ticker symbol STCC. Angelo, it's been an absolute pleasure having you back on the program. We definitely want to have you back here in the very near future, and just to check up on your progress and see how well Sterling Consolidated has been doing.
Thank you, Jasyn. Thank you for having me.